Hi guys, and welcome to Dee's Media World. I know that this technology is really bad right now. This is actually my webcam, but my actual camera is down at the moment. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from doing this topic. So the topic I'm doing today, in correlation to the last two videos I've done about Black media, is now agendas. When people think of agendas, they kind of first think of, lately they say the gay agenda, how there's so many gay characters, and they're kind of promoting gay lifestyle and showing gay characters be main characters. And there might be gay sex scenes in certain shows and whatnot. I don't really believe that there is a gay agenda in the sense that they're making it up. Gay people have been around forever, but now there's sort of an influx of them. So they're uncomfortable not just because gay people exist, but because there seems to be so many in everything. There's a gay character in almost every main primetime show now. And I've talked about these shows before: Empire, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal as well have gay characters, and we're just not used to it. One of the big things that was sort of the downfall for Empire with the season 2 premiere was that we already knew that Jamal was gay and he was a main character, but they added like two other gay characters into that, and it wasn't subtle at all. The sexuality or the homosexuality was not subtle. So I knew, even people who watched the show previously, started to feel uncomfortable, and that's why people, I think that there's a gay agenda in the sense that we're just not used to seeing so much of it. But in terms of what agenda I'm talking about today is actually interracial dating agenda. The need for black films and TV shows, particularly TV shows lately, or somewhat black shows, to always have our black character be with a white person. I think that's an agenda. I think that that's starting to become a norm in television, and these strong black women in these roles, they have to be they can't have, it's almost like they don't want too much blackness. They're okay with maybe a black female lead, but there has to be a white knight in there. There has to be a white boyfriend or something along those lines. Um, so I want to discuss what I guess my thing with interracial dating is, period. I don't have a problem with interracial dating by itself. The idea of it is fine, but sometimes the execution doesn't work out because people sometimes have hidden agendas. Some people have fetishes, some people have hidden agendas, propaganda behind it as well. Like, there's this bad notion that for black people, especially in our community, that if we date outside our race, particularly dating a white person, then we'll have it good. Our problems with black people will disappear. With black men or black women will disappear. We'll be in a better lifestyle. We'll make more money. We'll maybe even absorb. I think what it really comes down to is that some people feel that they will absorb white privilege as well if they have a white partner. And all of this is false. That's propaganda. That's an agenda. That's as well. In Dear White People and films where, these upper class level black people are with white people, there's an assumption that they will be happier if they continue to absorb white culture, try to be with a white person, have mixed interracial, biracial children, whatever. And that's a falsehood, and it's just not true. There was a article I read earlier this week. It was like about a woman who is black, and she married a white husband, and after that she realized how racist he was, and how she thought that if she left her left black men alone, that this white guy would kind of save all those problems. And she learned the hard way that wasn't the case at all. I'm not going to go into depths about that letter. I might put it down in the description box. I don't know. But there is this false notion that black people will be happier with white people. And the reason I say that it's an agenda, this interracial dating has become an agenda, is that we're seeing it a lot in some of these mainstream TV shows: Empire, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, Dear White People has it as well. And even though those relationships aren't the most positive, like in How to Get Away with Murder, Annalise's character is married or was married to a white man, but she has an affair with a black man as well. And it kind of says it's some underlying things that are going on there. She could be totally fine being married to this white man, but secretly she would have, a black man as like her down low lover on the side piece, whatever you want to say it as. Um, but to get back to the agenda aspect, I think shows like Scandal's a big one where I was so surprised how people felt about Olivia and Fitz, the president. So Olivia has an affair with the president throughout like the entire show. I think she started it up again this season with the new season, and obviously the president is white. Even though he could have been anything actually in terms of the show, he could have been anything. I mean, we have a black president now, but since it's a fictional show and we are promoting the idea that anyone could be president, honestly, the president could have been black or he could have been Mexican. He could have been Asian if they wanted him to be. But anyway, she has an affair with him, and everyone supports this idea. He's a white man who's president, who's married to a white woman, has children, and everyone seemed to be okay with Olivia sort of having this affair and sort of being the side piece to the president. And as a black woman, she's a black woman. Think about the history of that. She's a woman of power, so she has some influence. But when it comes to this white man who has, I guess, more power over her, she kind of succumbs to his power as well. Like she could not be with, she couldn't have a black boyfriend. She couldn't have, even when she gets a boyfriend later on, she gets a white, he has to be white. Like even when she briefly, I don't watch Scandal like that, but I know that she gets a white boyfriend who's in love with her and stuff. Even then, that guy isn't black. He has to be white too. And I know that Shonda Rhimes, she's known for having controversy in her shows and then also having black female leads and whatnot. But I'm curious as to why she feels the need that they have to be with white men, specifically. And with Scandal, I'm never a big fan of that show, but that was always something that turned me off from it. Like some people will be like, well, the president has mostly been white, so that's why why he's white, and she's having an affair with him because they're in love. I mean, I understand that as well, but there's some symbolism to her being a black woman of power that still succumbs to sort of this white man of power. And she has to be his mistress. And fans are rooting for her to do that. People are rooting for adultery, but then they're also rooting for adultery between a black woman and a white man. And it makes it makes no real sense. And I think that's a little bit of propaganda. I know that people kind of have this white knight mentality that if they get with a white person, their problems will be solved or they'll be happier or whatever the case is. There's no guarantee. There's basically no guarantee that you will be happier staying outside your race. Those problems you have within your own people, maybe you'll just have different problems with someone of another race. And that's just kind of the facts. Like there's no like that mentality is going to lead to destruction of not only your own people but just destruction for yourself. I mean, if you continue to promote this idea that because there's some notion that all biracial children automatically are beautiful because they're of two cultures. So there's kind of this looking down on oh, I don't really want a kid to be just be black. I want them to be black and white, or I want it to be complicated, and that makes it more beautiful, when that's not really true. That's not true at all either. There's no, I mean, beauty is kind of in the eye of the beholder, but there's no guarantee beauty just because you mix two races or two ethnicities together to create a child. That's just silly. That's just silly, and it says a lot about your self-hatred and yourself, about your own beauty, if you feel you have to mix it with another race for your child to end up being beautiful. But in terms of the agenda and propaganda, as I said with Dear White People in that film, how it has no black love at all. There really is no black love on these main shows either. There's Blackish. I talked about Blackish. I don't forget about Blackish. Even Rosewood with Morris Chestnut. His girlfriend is Nicole Ari Parker, who's black. I think she might be half black, half white. I'm not sure. But she's a black woman she's full black to my knowledge. I'm not sure. But there's just not a unity. Like, it's kind of like, whether you notice it or not, it's kind of like, it's not, to me, to some people it might not be super obvious, and to others it's hidden underneath. And with like Empire, as I said last time I talked about Empire, sorry the camera is moving, how that show, the main cast is black, but there's no real unity or love between any of the characters. It's a family, but it's not a family show. It's a family who only kind of deal with each other because they're related, not because they actually care about each other, love each other. There's consistent betrayal on the show, as I said. Each son has his own problems. Well, Jamal's gay, but it's not. I mean, that's a problem for him. But like Hakeem and Andre have some serious. Well, Hakeem is just really annoying and immature, and he sees women as objects most of the time. But and as Andre is married to a white woman and all that kind of stuff. But there's no like real black unity even between Taraji P. Henson's character and Terrence Howard's character. Like even though they were married, it's hard to believe they ever had a deep love or deep understanding. And the show even it just promotes the idea that black people cannot be functional in relationships. Like with Lucius and Cookie on that show, there was a point in season 1 where, you know, we kind of understood that they were in love. But even when they were in love, it had to be like a dysfunctional, uh, you're crazy, I'm crazy, kind of love. Like it couldn't be like a quieter, more understandable love. It had to be super dramatic. And I mean, that show is super dramatic. But that's sort of what I'm getting at. When we have, you know, black and black people together, this black love idea is kind of becoming a myth in television because we can't really, and black love shouldn't have to always be, or shouldn't have to be dysfunctional, or assuming that there's always going to be like a bunch of problems. Like every relationship has problems, but black love always seems to have like extra problems, and there always seems to be a question of loyalty. And I just want to see like Blackish is a good example of there's black love on that show because it's a really cute show, but it gets nowhere near the attention or it gets nowhere near the attention as an Empire or Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder will. And I don't think viewers consciously realize some of these problems with television and black love and television and how we just love watching, you know, how to what's it called, Love and Hip Hop and you know, Real Housewives and all that stuff, all those reality shows as well that aren't promoting unity. They do have black people, as I said in my other video, just because there's black people on something doesn't mean it's good entertainment. Those shows don't promote positive, for starters, they don't even promote positive representations of black people. So clearly they don't represent good, healthy relationships of black love either. But people, I don't think, consciously notice this stuff when they watch shows like Empire and whatever, Scandal. They kind of just like, well, it's just, some people say it's just entertainment. The reason I do these videos about entertainment lately is because it's not just entertainment. It says a lot about us as a culture, what we like to watch. Whatever the #1 show is in America says a lot about what we like to consume and watch. Empire, I don't know if Empire is the #1 show in America. I don't think so, but it's definitely a big show. It's the #1 black show for sure on television right now. You know, people will defend it to the death or whatever. Lately, I don't know so much because lately I've been hearing that the show has been declining in viewers. But it says a lot about what we like to see. We like to see stereotypes of ourselves. We like to see drama, which of course any good show has drama. But when I say drama, I mean like consistent backstabbing. That's what I'm referring to with Empire, the consistent backstabbing and the lying and the no real love or unity in the show. But we like to watch that stuff. Anytime I see about Love and Hip Hop or Real Housewives in Atlanta or any of those black reality shows, they just peg us down a notch again. Because we don't love ourselves in television. We enjoy, black people as a whole, enjoy watching TV that sort of demeans ourselves. We won't acknowledge that. We won't admit, you know what, I don't like, you know what, this might mean more to the eye than it seems. Like it's not just two dumb girls throwing bottles at each other. It's two dumb black girls throwing bottles at each other and people are eating this up and loving it and it's supposed to be depicted as reality. And we just need to maybe turn the TV off. I know a lot of people talk about, there's plenty of reviewers I follow who do reviews on, you know, Love and Hip Hop and stuff, and I don't understand the purpose because reality TV is fake. It's fake and real at the same time. It's fake because it's acting probably and they're getting paid money to act a fool, but it's also real because that's what we like watching. We like watching ourselves being embarrassing ourselves, and how, like, if someone came to the States and they said, you know, I wonder what black people are like in real life, and I want to get sort of an idea of what type of television they like, you would probably be a bit embarrassed to say Love and Hip Hop, Empire. Empire gets a little more love than it gets more respect, but it's still not good. It gets a little, like I said, it's only like maybe two notches above above reality TV. It's barely any better than reality TV. But I just want to see more positive television. I just want to see more Black Love is the name of the game, and it's funny how it's hard to obtain on television in a healthy way. It used to be so easy. The any before the 2000s really, pretty much every black show had black love, and it was not an issue. Like I said, you know, Fresh Prince, The Jeffersons, Living Single. In fact, Living Single, I don't think any of those characters date white people ever. Uh, um, any of those black shows, the Cosbys or whoever, they had no problem with finding black love and having different skin tones. And I don't know why we're going so backwards. I don't understand why we're going so backwards. And did black love and unity, we can still have drama without dysfunction. But black love and unity, they become boring to us. Did dating within our own race and promoting black love sort of become boring and controversial or something, or uninteresting, where it's like, I'd rather see, you know, Olivia date a white guy because that's my fantasy to have the white knight, over seeing her with a great black guy. Um, I don't know. That's food for thought, I suppose. Well, I've talked long enough about this topic. What do you guys think about? Do you think there's a interracial? Do you think, for starters, I guess, a gay agenda? Do you think that's a thing? But do you also think that there's an interracial agenda where we are pushing interracial relationships onto the masses for Black people specifically, and in hopes of fulfilling some kind of fantasy that Black people will be happier with non-Black people? And that the self-hate should actually continue? Or am I just speaking from nowhere and I'm just making this up or something, and I don't know, or I'm just speculating, basically? Am I just speculating, or is it really deeper than all that? So let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you later. Bye.